some steam here during the draft season. Strong build, he can run, plenty of arm strength, as you heard Mel say there. Here's his head coach from Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, today on how Dart fits in the NFL.
The novice media are like, well, this Lane Kiffin offense is so quarterback friendly, it's easy. Like, can he translate from a mental standpoint to the next level? I've talked to Jackson. I know what he's like between the ears, but what is he and how overlooked maybe is that aspect of his game?
Well, I think that I don't know why that would be a negative at all.
I don't either.
Playing in the system, I think it's really complicated what he does and how much stuff he does at the line of scrimmage and changes things and protection. So I think it's very NFL friendly that way, and I think the transition will be easy for him.
What do you think the best fit for him is at the next level?
I don't know that. I think that he can fit in anywhere. I think that he can do everything, and he can also, wherever it is, he can go into that culture, into that locker room and win them over.
Yeah, Matt, we have so much movement regarding Dart. I mean, Mel Kiper has him going top 10 to the Saints. You have him much closer to the bottom of the first round. Where do you think the best fit is?
Yeah, I still think the best fit is the Los Angeles Rams at number 26 overall, where I had him in the mock drafts. Of course, I'm going to defend my own mock draft here, right? But I do think he needs a year to sit. And I know Lane's going to come out and say all the right things about he could fit in anywhere. And he could, but I do think this offense at Ole Miss, it's a lot of RPO. It's a lot of one read and go. And that's okay. They won a ton of football games that way. But I think the acclimation period to the NFL is going to be something where it'd be great for him to sit a year behind Matthew Stafford, get caught up on the speed of the game. And it would be a lot like when the Green Bay Packers drafted Jordan Love behind Aaron Rodgers. Maybe that's not your plan or your biggest need, but the value is there. And you start thinking long term, how does that work out? Now, does he make it to 26? I don't know, because there's so many teams that need quarterbacks. And by all accounts, he's killing it in the pre-draft process. But I think that's the best true fit for the longevity of his career and him having some early success.
Yeah, I want to be clear here in case there was any delay. My top 10, that was my reaction of going, what, was to hearing Mel had him in the top 10. That was truly shocking to me. I hadn't seen that yet. Look, there are traits that I think explain why there is interest, first-round interest. He has a live arm, for starters. He can make throws to all parts of the field. It's definitely NFL caliber in terms of the talent there. And then he's a really good athlete. That's something that jumped out to me watching the tape, is his scrambling ability, running through the teeth of the defense, some toughness on display there as well. So I can see why, again, teams would be interested in that. That said, I'm in agreement with Matt that I really think the best fit for him is anywhere where he can sit for a year. Respectfully, Lane Kiffin is not right in saying that his offense translates to the NFL. It is nothing like an NFL offense. Yeah. When you watch him, it's almost all RPOs and play action. We've seen this with quarterbacks before. Matt Corral comes to mind. He has a lot to learn, decision-making, feel for pressure. So I would love for him, Dart, not to end up with a team like the Rams where he can sit for a year, because I do think it would help him a great deal.
A lot of teams above the Rams, though, with a quarterback need. We have the Steelers, RC, sitting there at 21. Right now, Mason Rudolph's their only quarterback. They're still waiting on Aaron Rodgers. What are your thoughts about how this whole quarterback process is going for Pittsburgh?
It makes my stomach hurt. Yeah. I know that. But I want them to be smart. Right, you are backed into a corner, but you've been in quarterback purgatory since Big Ben's last couple of years in the NFL. They never lose enough games to draft high enough to get one of the elite quarterbacks that are up each and every draft. And while you went and got Kenny Pickett a few years ago at 20, don't do the same thing expecting to have a franchise guy the day he walks in to the building. But now waiting on a guy like Aaron Rodgers has put you in a bad situation. You know that Mason Rudolph is not the franchise quarterback of the future. And behind Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, who there are question marks about, we don't know that Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe or any of those guys can eventually mature into being that as well. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a very tough position. But what I do believe is if they stay at 21 and draft any of these quarterbacks who will still be available, they will not have drafted a day one starter.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm with you. It is a difficult spot. The Pittsburgh Steelers, from what I keep hearing, are willing to wait on Aaron Rodgers. And if they have to wait for multiple weeks leading up to the draft, they will do so. They're still optimistic of their chances. Other people that have been in the quarterback market believe that maybe they have a wink-wink deal set up with Rodgers just because of the way that everything has played out and whether Rodgers goes to the Steelers or flirts with retirement. But the Steelers have done a lot of work on the draft-eligible quarterbacks this year. the feeling I get around the league is that whether it's this year or next year, they'll take one pretty high. And I don't want to oversell a team doing dinner with a player, but the Steelers do have a habit of drafting players they have dinner with. And so when they met with Alabama's Jalen Milroe, who's considered a high-end, project, if you could sit him for a couple years and he can learn an NFL offense and you can tailor things around him, he could be really good because of the upside. They did have dinner with Milroe, so maybe like a day 2 prospect, they could pull the trigger on a quarterback.
I'll be quick here. I'm going to say the same thing about the Steelers that I have said in the past to female friends. If you have a wink, wink handshake deal with a man, but he's not willing to go public with you, he is not your man. And I do not love the fact that they're just sitting there waiting for Aaron Rodgers. Ryan, like what is happening here?
What are we doing here?
Listen, it makes me sick, right? Like we're sitting around like Aaron Rodgers is the Bachelor, and we're like, oh my gosh, please give me the final rose. That's not the way the Pittsburgh Steelers has ever worked, ever in the history of football. But I will say this to Jeremy Fowler: Coach Tomlin loves dinner. Coach Tomlin enjoys having dinner with these players so he can sit around and chop it up. And so if we're going to sit here and say the quarterbacks that Mike Tomlin has dinner with are the guys he's going to pick, then he's going to take Riley Leonard too, because he went to dinner with all of the Notre Dame guys as well.
There you go, Riley Leonard. I love it. Did he have dinner with Aaron Rodgers? Did he have dinner with Tyler Shugg? Is he done having dinner? It really is like The Bachelor, isn't it?
Ain't nothing wrong with liking to eat. Hey, we talking about dating. Sometimes you got to take as many shots as you can and just hope to hit one.
Yeah, this is. It's like quarterback Bachelor. It really is. I love it. Yeah, we're going on multiple dates. Steelers quarterbacks ranked 24th in total QBR over the last 2 seasons. Just gonna put a bow on that. All right, new on NFL Live. Colorado has signed Deion Sanders to a 5-year, $54 million contract extension that runs through the 2029 season. Highest paid football coach in the Big 12, among the top 10 highest paid head football coaches in the country. It's an unbelievable story. RC, so his buyout is $12 million this year. It's $10 million next year. It kind of drops from there on a sliding scale. What do you think about this deal for Deion?
Listen, I think it's smart for the Colorado Buffaloes. Deion Sanders hasn't just changed the football program at Colorado. He's changed the school. He's changed the incitement in attending the school. All of y'all know this, bro. People want to come to LSU because they want to go to football games. Now, they're going to get an education, but it's like I say all the time, Education is first and football is second. And you see the number 1 is when I said football. And that's exactly what Colorado is doing. They're making sure that program continues to move in the right direction and that Deion Sanders is secure. So now those guys that he's recruiting expect him to be there coaching that team for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, obviously that's critical. But we've heard, flirtations with the NFL. Jeremy, is there any there?
This always felt like the expected outcome with Deion Sanders because a lot of people I've talked to around the league weren't necessarily buying the NFL smoke, that the Dallas Cowboys situation wasn't quite real. The best fit for him was probably the Las Vegas Raiders, but they pivoted to Pete Carroll pretty early in the process. And so, his skill set and his ways of motivating young athletes is so good and tailored for the college game. Not that it can't work in the NFL game by any stretch, but it just seemed like he's such a good fit for Colorado right now that at least around the league, that was the expected outcome.
Yeah, I love what he says. I'm blessed, not stressed. All right. Now, I know it's so good, isn't it? In case you missed it this week, earlier, RC tweeted this. Hopped on a plane this morning, and the flight attendants were so nice. One ran up to me and told me she was a big fan. She took a pic, and then the other flight attendant, too. I thought, man, this is dope. The questions she asked, though, they just weren't adding up. It turns out they thought I was Dwayne Wade. And then Booker McFarland quickly replies, shortest D Wade ever, LOL. I mean, RC, I think that's a compliment. Someone thinks you're D Wade?
Well, you know, when I got on the plane, though, like I've never had someone run down the aisle at me. So it was immediately fishy. And then when she told me she was a Dallas Cowboy fan, I was like, this woman has zero idea who I am. And it turned out she thought I was D Wade. I said he was like 5 inches taller, but at least it wasn't anybody who was unattractive. And I will say this,
Yes.
once she figured out who I was, the first thing she tells me is this: I think Mina Kimes is amazing. And I said, you know what, ma'am? You are
Stop.
absolutely right. So at least I'm good by my association with MK.
Oh my goodness. Comparing you to D-Wade is a compliment. It is a compliment. He is obviously a very good-looking man. It is kind of like, though, in draft season when every tight end is Travis Kelce and every quarterback is the next Patrick Mahomes. I feel like she's doing one of
Very
those
similar.
comps.
I'm just envisioning
Very
RC with
similar.
the number 3 Heat jersey, shaking it like this in front of the crowd.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
hey, the thing is this, though. As long as she thinks I look like the real D Wade and not the statue they put
Exactly.
up in Miami.
Yeah,
Because I
right.
don't want to be that dude.
Because the statue kind of looks like Lawrence Fishburne, I'm just saying. All right. Still ahead. Trades are always on.
Yo, 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 what's up, peoples? Welcome to the channel. You have reached your sports, and this is your sports moment. What we talk about, what they talked about. Chop it up a little bit, see how y'all been doing. Y'all can go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. So, topic of today. They finally signed Aaron Rodgers. And Ryan Clark supposedly hates it. Didn't he play for Green Bay for his entire career? Wasn't he a Aaron Rodgers fanatic? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. But, you know, yeah. Aaron Rodgers signing to the Steelers. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a moment. Aaron Rodgers, he has what? 1 ring? Why is this man acting like Ryan Clark said, everybody's treating Aaron Rodgers like he's the Bachelor and we're all waiting around to see if we get picked by him. Like, bro, come on. It's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he got a dope arm. Yeah, he used to be a dope football player, but this man is in his 40s. This man is past his prime. He's living off the legend of his name. That's where we are right now. He's living off the legend of his name. And all the things he used to do, he can't do anymore. He's still got a nice arm, but he cannot move like he used to. He don't do the things Tom Brady was doing in this age to stay prime Tom Brady. He's being a diva. I mean, let's be honest about it, bro. Aaron Rodgers is being a diva right now. You know what I mean? I mean, he got teams waiting around and waiting around and waiting around, and especially the Steelers. The Steelers of all teams, it's one of the oldest franchises in NFL history. For them to be waiting around on a quarterback when they have all of these other quarterbacks that's coming into the league from the draft. You got all these other quarterbacks in free agency that can give you something probably a little more than what Aaron Rodgers put out the year prior when he was with the Jets. I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's just, I don't know what it is. You feel me? I mean, it ain't living up to the hype. It's just living off past laurels of what he did in the past with the one championship that he had. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he only had 1 chip. Am I wrong? Somebody tell me in the comments. I mean, am I wrong? Did Aaron Rodgers have more than one championship? Because, I mean, right now it seems like we're on the level of they are treating it like he's going to be a Tom Brady. He's going to come into their franchise after his prime, still be prime Aaron Rodgers, and win them another championship like he did when he left the Patriots and went to the Bucks. Now that was some crazy shit. This man, Tom Brady, in his older age, left the Patriots with all that hype about, you know, who did it, who won the championships between him and Belichick. Was it the coach or was it the player? Come to find out, it was the player. It's always the player. I mean, yeah, it works well when it comes to, you know, a collective effort because football is a total team sport. But let's be real, dog. The players make the game. I remember this conversation that was had with the Chicago Bulls back when Jordan was playing. And management ownership was trying to take all the shine for the championships from the players. They were saying things like, without the front office and without the GMs and without the ownership, that the franchise would have never won those 6 championships. MJ was like, oh, hell no. Let's be real. Without the players, the organization wouldn't be nothing but a logo on a shirt, a brand that you guys sell to try to make money. But these rings, these 6 rings, these championships that I and my team have brought to this franchise, that comes from the players, dog. I totally agree with it. I mean, the front office is not doing the hard work. The front office is not sweating every day, working out every day, taking the injuries, trying to come back from the injuries, living up to the ups and downs, you know what I'm saying, of playing every night 82 games or playing 16 games in the NFL and getting hit by these linebackers that want to take your head off, or running across the middle of that field, catching that pass that they throw too high to leave you exposed, where you got this headhunter coming at you full speed and just smack you. No, the front office ain't doing that. They ain't catching all that. They doing this. They writing checks. The most they get is a splinter from grabbing a pencil for signing a check. That's it. That's it. But as far as winning championships, that comes from the players, dog. The players. Sorry about that. I got a little bit off topic. But we got Ryan Clark saying he don't like the decision. And he think he just don't like the way it's being handled by his organization. You know what I'm saying? But and not even his organization, because he was a Green Bay Packer, not a Steeler. I do stand corrected. Then you got my man Ryan Clark said that he was getting on a plane or off a plane, one of the two, and some shorty ran up to him. And she was asking him all these questions, and he was just like, he's never had a fan run up to him like this before. She was all excited. And she says to him, you know, she likes the Dallas Cowboys. He said he knew right then and there. She didn't know who he was. Come to find out, she thought my man was Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade? I mean, there's no resemblance there. I mean, other than he's black. I mean, that goes right back to it, y'all. All black people look alike. That's what they think out there, man. All black people look alike. That's sad, bro. And then his host, I forgot her name, the other chick, she came out and said, you know, he looked like good thing he didn't look like the statue, because the statue looked more like Lawrence Fishburne. Now that's bad to say, because the D Wade statue is a terrible look, bro. But what I wanted to get at was this. My man Ryan Clark shot his shot with Mina right now. He shot his shot with Mina. I'm trying to think what he said, but he said something to the effect of something like, you know, hosting, it wasn't as good as Mina, his host. But anyway, y'all check the video out, rewind it, go back, look at it. But my man Ryan Clark shot his shot. She was blushing on TV and everything. I mean, Mina, she cute. You know what I'm saying? She cute and all. But you know, hey, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind trying a little Asian treat myself. You know what I'm saying? But I am a married man, and I am happily married. I'm talking about back when I was in my 20s. You feel me? I wouldn't dare go out here and date today because it ain't worth it. If you got who you got now and it's working out and you might have a few small problems, make it work. Because I'm trying to tell you, what's out here today, it's chaos. But that's getting off the topic. Appreciate y'all for making this far. I'm your host, S. Dot. Thank you for making it to Your Sports Moment. This is Your Sports. And don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to leave a subscribe. And if you don't want to do those two, hey, leave us a comment, man. Let us know you came by and you saw us. All right? We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.